Hey kids, ready to go?
Have you seen my snow pants?
Maybe they're in the closet.
Emily, where are we going again?
Going to Eagle Lake.
Yay.
Yeah.
I picked up someone's treatment and I wrote a script, and then Brooke came in and helped me write more of the treatment, and then we storyboarded together and then made a shot list and went out to shoot. Getting to watch the whole thing fit together is really exciting.
We've interviewed locals, know some history. George Neptune, museum educator at Abbey Museum. We've interviewed him, and he's going to get some music for us for the Aboriginal people.
There were Wabanaki encampments all over the island in pre-contact times, but the highest concentration of settlements would have been down near Northeast Harbor. The Passamaquoddy place name for Northeast Harbor is Astuigug, and Astuigug comes from two different words, the ending igug denoting a place, and then Astui meaning coming or growing together. So Astuigug was literally the coming together place. Astuigug eventually led to the person that Samuel Champlain named Chief Astiku. And it is actually my theory that he wasn't Chief Astiku, but he was chief of Astuigug, and there was just a little bit lost in translation there. There are archaeological sites, a few places where archaic period material shows up, and that's about 5,000 to 7,000 years old. Unfortunately, the oldest archaeological sites that would have material from that time period are actually underwater at this point due to rising sea levels. But according to Wabanaki oral history, we've always been here. We've been here for thousands of generations. We have no migration or removal story. So we have always been on the island.
What was the Wabanaki people specifically, their kind of reaction to the Europeans first arriving on the island?
I think it was probably a pretty mixed reaction. Some people were excited about it, some people were probably pretty afraid. I do know that Samuel Champlain writes about being very welcomed here on the island and being able to go to Astuigug and be able to converse with people and learn more about these lands.
John D. Rockefeller Jr. was a huge equestrian and carriage enthusiast. He envisioned a network of paths to enjoy the scenery of the island from horseback. He began construction on his Seal Harbor estate of a carriage road in 1920.
Those carriage roads are stunning. Thank God he built them, because what a resource. What an incredible gift he gave us.
His system of carriage roads dug into mountains, allowing views of the sea and connecting the main towns and settlements of the island, making the park more accessible. This system of carriage roads changed the park forever. Rockefeller and his architects wanted to create roads and a system of bridges that complemented the beauty of the park. The completion of the carriage roads changed everything. Some of the most beautiful areas of the park could now be enjoyed by everybody. These roads are still maintained to this day and play an important role in the history of the park as well as the very character of it.
100 years of this park being on MDI and stuff, and people being able to use it. So it's a really good milestone for people to have, and it's just really great having the park in my backyard. Like, I just a mile away from my house, I can just go out there, bike, run, whatever, right there.
I love biking the carriage roads, and it is pretty unique to learn to ride a bike in a park that people come from all over the world to visit.
Your mind can relax any problems that have gone on into the world, and you can just bike.
It's really beautiful, so it's a really great place to be, just to do whatever you want to do. And it's really great having this like kind of tranquil place for people to go. It's really nice to get away and be in nature. I really like cycling, but I also run, and then I'm trying to swim more.
I spend so much time in the park, and I generally try to go to as many different places as I can.
And I go to the park almost daily when the roads are good. So if I didn't live as close, then I wouldn't be able to do that.
In the summer, I like to fly fish almost every pond and lake on the island. It's surrounded by the park and it's maintained by the park, and they're such a good organization that it's always staying clean, always well protected.
The Village Improvement Committee from 1917 to 1932 created and maintained the most iconic trails in the park, thanks to two chairmen, Frederick Weeks and Harold Peabody. In 1932, the Bar Harbor Village Improvement Association struck a deal with the National Park Service that put them in charge of the majority of the trails under their authority. The shore path in Bar Harbor is still maintained by that Village Improvement Association. After the VIA trails were given to the federal government, things changed. The obvious part was that now Acadia National Park, as it would become named around this time, had been given more land. Around this time, Franklin Delano Roosevelt began his relief programs to combat the Depression. Programs such as the Civilian Conservation Corps ensured these new trails given by the VIA would be maintained. More towns would follow suit, and the CCC began to maintain trails in its own park boundaries instead of relying on the villages for the work. The park was beginning to attract people from around the country and around the world. After World War II, America entered into a new age of prosperity. Many of the men who had fought came home and had families. The younger ones went on to complete their education and get jobs. This, however, was the calm before the storm for Acadia. In 1947, the prosperous cottage age in Acadia would come to an end.
One of the worst droughts in the northeastern states brings its costly toll of forest fires. In the area surrounding Kennebunkport, Maine National Guardsmen join firefighters as hundreds flee the wall of flame with what belongings they can salvage. In this fire alone, more than 300 homes are consumed. Starting in the pine woods along the coast, the conflagration sweeps irresistibly over this fashionable summer colony and Bar Harbor further north. Volunteers from the New England states and New York join in the general fight. forests that are tinder dry are closed to campers and hunters as blazes spring up in scores of areas, consuming thousands of acres of timber and sweeping every habitation in their path. As flames rage out of control, damage amounting to $3 million or more is reported in Maine alone, and a state of emergency in forest regions is proclaimed by governors of the affected states. Care in woodlands can prevent such holocausts.
Through the summer and into the fall of 1947, Maine received only 50% of its average rainfall. Vegetation dried, water supplies dwindled, and by mid-October, Mount Desert Island was experiencing the driest conditions ever recorded. On Friday, October 17, 1947, the fire department received a call reporting smoke rising from the cranberry bog near Town Hill. The cause of the fire is unknown, but once ignited, the fire would go on to consume over 17,000 acres on the east side of Mount Desert Island. For the first 3 days, the fire burned only 169 acres. Then, on the fourth day, the wind picked up, spreading the fire and pushing it towards the west shore of Eagle Lake, burning 2,300 acres. On October 23rd, the wind began to push one branch of the fire towards the popular summer community of Bar Harbor. The fire raced through Millionaire's Row, destroying the Grand Summer cottages, along with 5 historic hotels and 170 permanent homes. The destruction on Mount Desert Island went on to make international news. Fire departments from all over the island joined forces with the Army, Navy, National Guard, University of Maine Forestry Program, and Bangor Theological Seminary in an attempt to beat back the blaze. Citizens attempting to escape the fire fled to the athletic field and the town pier. Fishermen from the neighboring towns of Lemoyne, Gouldsboro, and Winter Harbor helped victims to escape by boat. Approximately 400 people escaped by boat.
One of the ways that I, at the ripe old age of 72, think about the 7 decades since the fire is through resilience. The park has come back to become America's favorite national park and America's favorite place.
It's wonderful to see you here on this beautiful day.
What a day. This is perfect.
We are so lucky to live so close to this amazing park.
We sure are.
And you got to walk here?
Yeah, it just took 15 minutes today.
Us too. Well, enjoy your hike.
Thanks, you too. Adios.
Hey Mom, remember the time we went to High Block Pond? That's one of the places we can walk to.
When it was fall and the leaves were changing color?
Yeah, we went for a walk. And then we saw that crow. It was just sitting in the tree, looking at us.
I remember that. In the leaves, they were so pretty during the fall.
There's excellent backcountry skiing opportunities on Cadillac, on Door, on Sargent, kind of all over, wherever you can find it.
Can we stop so I can draw that crow?
Can I sit down?
Yeah, let's rest here for a little bit.
It looks so much different here than it does in the summer.
Hey Emily, what are you drawing?
Oh, I'm drawing the crow.
That reminds me of the time I drew the mountains at Jordan Pond.
Oh, like that field trip you went on in 3rd grade?
Yeah, that was really fun. Our class went to Jordan Pond House and we drew pictures on the lawn. It's really cool that since our school is so near Acadia, we can take class field trips and go to the park a lot. Doing art in the park today. Yeah, we're sketching out of the mountains and stuff. Better than staying in the classrooms because you can actually see it in person.
The high school takes field trips to Acadia too, like your school, but we do more volunteering than anything.
I work for Friends of Acadia. My name is Jonathan, and I am the coordinator of volunteers for Acadia.
I'm the volunteer coordinator for the Friends of the Park.
I'm sort of the yenta, the matchmaker. People call me up and say, "Hi, I want to work for you, and you don't have to pay me," which is a great job.
I love to do things for the community, especially the park. A couple of months ago, I helped work on the trails, clearing away old brush. I really like seeing how our help impacts the park. Anyone can help out with the park. I do it through school. Every year, Acadia gets help from hundreds of volunteers, and it wouldn't be the same without them.
Where do you guys want to go next?
Can we go to the beach next? We haven't been there in forever.
Yeah, let's go to the beach.
There's no one here. Pretty different from the summer, huh?
In the summer, there's like a bajillion people here.
Sometimes there's so many people that you can't get to the beach.
Why can't you go to the beach when there's people?
Well, you can go to the beach, but there's too many cars to fit in the parking lot.
But then you can take the Island Explorer bus. It goes all over the island in the summer, and it's free.
Yeah, I like the bus.
Where do you like to go on the bus?
I like to go on the Park Loop Road, but my favorite part is Thunder Hole.
Should we go over there? Yeah.
Isn't it pretty here?
Yeah, it is.
when a storm happens, it gets really crazy, and they don't even let people go down there.
That's right. The park wants to make sure that nobody gets hurt, so they try to keep everybody safe.
There are a lot of people here in the summer too.
Thunder Hole is definitely a popular place for tourists to come in the summer.
Well, kids, did you enjoy our hike today?
Yeah.
Love getting out here in nature.
Yeah, it was great. I think I even saw a squirrel run alongside us for a few minutes.
Does everyone have everything they brought with them? Let's make sure we don't leave any trash.
So what trail are we going to do next time?
I'm not sure, but we have plenty of options.
Honestly, working on this project, I don't think there's anybody that I've not liked working with.
Getting to finish a film is really cool, and I'm really excited about this.
I'm gonna miss it a lot. I mean, since the first day of school, I've come in every day looking forward to this project, working on this project.
My favorite mountain is definitely Beehive. There's not a mountain that you can see Sand Beach as well as you can on Beehive. It has such a beautiful view.
I can get out onto the mountains almost any time of the year. It gives me an opportunity to see a lot of the park.
When I was younger, me and my dad would always go out to the park, and we'd like to go to the ocean and like catch crabs and skip rocks and stuff like that. There's so much that you can do. I mean, in school, there's been a lot of times where you'll go to a tide pool area, or you'll go out and see some sort of sea life, and there's just so much that you can do with that.
I love it here so much, and I try to come here as much as possible and stay here as long as I can, because when it's time to go home, it's always really hard to leave.
Everything that I love to do outside involves the park.
I appreciate the park and nature more than I would have if I grew up in a city or didn't have those opportunities.
This place will always be a treasure in my heart.
I spent almost all of my senior year out in the park shooting time-lapse for a film that I was working on, and that was just an incredible experience. I think you need to have places of like superb natural beauty like Acadia to be preserved so that when people visit them, they can find a renewed interest in getting outside and caring for nature. When I'm here and if I have free time, I'm out in the park because it's my favorite place in the world.
Bye.